Good morning to all of you. Welcome to the session. At the outset, I'm quite sure some of you may be quite disappointed, and if you could be maybe very angry because the sessions are not regular. But a request from my side this week also, I have already told you guys I have a very tight schedule, and it's very difficult to squeeze in about 4 to 5 hours for this session. So I request all of you to bear with this irregularity for this week, and I'm sure next week the sessions are going to be punctual as usual and also regular as usual, and I will try to take it to a different level altogether. And today you're going to have a glimpse of that, how I'm going to take it to a different level, raise the standards. Today I have brought a few exercises from, for the first time, international magazines, two magazines. One is The Economist magazine. There are a few exercises, and also from the New York Times, one particular exercise. And that way we will be able to take it to a different level. Looks like buffering. Let me check. Please give me a minute. I think it is okay right now. Please respond. Is everything okay? Now there is no buffering, I suppose. Please say buffering or no buffering. Good morning to all of you. Welcome back. But I have a question. Do you have a buffering problem? Please say yes, no, whatever it is. Now it's all right. Wonderful. So let us start the session. So that's a request from my side. This week, tomorrow also I doubt, but I will definitely take on Friday. And this week I have a very tight schedule. And after that, once we complete this week, I will be able to finish all the assignments. And next week onwards, the sessions will be regular. And we are going to take it to a different level altogether. Now let us start the session with a nice quote. What is today's quote? When the roots are deep, there is no reason to fear the wind. When the roots are deep, there is no reason to fear the wind. Some people say buffering 1 or 2, but a lot of people say no buffering. That means no buffering. So I'll continue with the session. So what is today's quote? When the roots are deep, if you talk about a plant or a tree, if the roots are very deep, there's no reason to fear the wind. The same way, when the foundation is very strong, you don't have to worry about how much you have to learn and what to learn. So foundation is always important. If the foundation is very strong, you can reach great heights. A very useful quote. Now let us see what is there to learn from today's editorial. There are some important words. What is the first one? Introspection. Introspection, I'm sure we have got once or twice. It is indeed an important word. What does it mean? It means self-questioning or self-awareness. Sometimes what happens, we do a lot of things, and sometimes we wonder whether we are going the right direction or the wrong direction, whether we are doing the right thing or the wrong thing. Then we ask ourselves, we question ourselves. In that context, we use the word introspection, and usually it takes the word self-introspection. It's an important word. Tirade. Tirade is also an important word, I guess, we have got for the first time. What is the meaning of the word tirade? Tirade means a long speech that criticizes someone or something. A long speech that criticizes usually someone. And senile. The word senile goes with old people, related to old people. Then we have juvenile, related to young people. In fact, if you remember, sometime back I gave one expression, juvenile delinquency. Juvenile delinquency means what? The crime committed by youngsters. Then we use, for that, there's an expression. What is that expression? Juvenile delinquency. In fact, in the Western countries, juvenile delinquency is a major problem. Now in our country also, we do have this problem, but not a regular problem, erratic, scattered, sporadic. Oh, we have a problem. Let me change. Give me a minute. Not a good way to begin. Let us see now. Let us wait for a few. No, I can make out. I have changed the source. Please wait for a few minutes. Is it all right now? You have to respond. Looks like it's okay right now. I will continue. So I was talking about juvenile delinquency. Juvenile delinquency means what? Crime committed by youngsters, young young guys. They commit crime. Then we use the word juvenile delinquency. The next word is signatories. Still buffering. Oh no. There's a problem. The next word is signatories. Looks like we have a problem. Now, is it okay? Some people say yes, some people say no. Let me continue for a few minutes, then we will see. If it goes well, I will continue. So I was talking about the fifth word. What is the fifth word? Signatories. That is also an important word. What is the meaning of that? Signatories means, that is in the plural form, it means, signatories means those who sign an agreement. Some people, they sign an agreement, and that those people are known as signatories. Now it's okay. A lot of people say now it's okay. Affliction. And the next word is affliction. Affliction means what? Being in a state of pain. Someone is in a state of pain. Then we use the word affliction. And the next word is disingenuous, an important word. I guess you have got this for the first time. Disingenuous means what? Not to be candid, or not to be honest. Detest, the next word. Detest means to hate something or someone intensely. Detest, to hate intensely someone or something. Magnanimity, an important word. Magnanimity means to be very generous. Someone is very generous, we use the word magnanimous, an important word. And obduracy, the last word is obduracy, means what? Being stubborn or being adamant, not willing to change. Not willing to change. These are the words you are going to learn from today's editorial. Now, let us have a look at the idioms. You have got many a time. Eat humble pie, apple pie order, apple of discord, apple of one's eye, comparing apples and oranges. And you're going to recollect and consolidate these 5 idioms. When it comes to test your English, today you're going to work on spot the errors and all the 5 sentences from the Economist magazine. You're going to work on para-jumble, again from the Economist magazine. You're going to work on close test from the New York Times. And you're going to work on the headlines from the Hindu paper and previous year's questions, again, the actual exams. What is editorial? What is today's editorial? The Congress and the Gandhis. It is all about a leadership crisis. This has been there for quite some time when it comes to the party, the Congress party. So how does it start? The editorial starts with an idiomatic expression, sound and fury. What does it mean? The expression sound and fury, it is an idiomatic expression. It means loud and angry words that catch a lot of attention, but they don't do anything good. Loud, sound, and fury means what? Loud and angry words that catch a lot of attention, but of no use. They don't do anything good. They sound and fury regarding what? On the Congress and the Gandhis. What is the main idea? The Congress leadership seems unwilling to engage in honest introspection. The Congress leadership seems unwilling to engage in honest introspection. It is not honest, it is honest. H is silent. It takes the indefinite article an honest person. And there's one important word here, introspection. Introspection means what? Self-questioning, self-analysis. Sometimes you wonder whether what you're doing is right or wrong. Then you question yourself. In that context, we use the word introspection, and the word usually takes the word self, and it's like a compound noun, self-introspection. Here it is related to the party, the Congress party. The Congress leadership seems unwilling to engage in honest introspection. The editorial is all about Congress party and whether it is going the right direction or the wrong direction, whether they have a very good leader, they don't have a very good leader. In that case, what to do and how to analyze the situation, how to find a solution. It's all about the party and how the high command responded, the top brass of the party. Top brass means the top people. It goes with a party, it goes with a company. The top brass of the party, how did they respond? It's all about that. The Congress leadership seems unwilling to engage in honest introspection. The sound and fury at the 7-hour-long virtual meeting of the Congress Working Committee, CWC, on Monday signified a lot. Imagine a meeting for 7 hours. That is pretty long, definitely something important. Only then it lasts for such a long time. The sound and fury at the 7-hour-long virtual meeting of the Congress Working Committee, CWC, on Monday signified a lot. It signified a lot, means it means a lot. The orchestrated tirade, orchestrated means directed in a particular way or directed towards a particular path. Orchestrated tirade, there is one important word. Tirade means a long speech, usually against someone or something. A long speech against someone or something. The orchestrated tirade by CWC members against party colleagues who raised valid concerns regarding the functioning of the party lent credence to a charge the Congress often faces, that it exists for the Gandhi family. So, a lengthy sentence, a few words are important words are there. The orchestrated, designed, engineered, tirade, a long speech against someone or something by CWC members against party colleagues who raised valid concerns regarding the functioning of the party lent credence, an important expression. Credence means belief. Lent credence to a charge the Congress often faces. What is that charge? That it exists for the Gandhi family. The party exists for the Gandhi family, that is a charge, and this particular situation going against those who raised certain concerns, it proves that and it adds credence to that. Lend credence means what? Lend belief to something. A letter signed by several senior leaders had demanded an active, full-time and visible leadership. There's nothing wrong with that. A letter signed by several senior leaders had demanded an active, full-time and visible leadership. Right now there is a void. They don't have an active, full-time and visible leadership. So they have written a letter, the senior leaders in the Congress party. Their intent, that means what? Their intention. Their intent, timing and motivation were questioned by Rahul Gandhi, who continues to influence decisions in the party, though he resigned as president last year. Their intent, their intention, their concern, timing and motivation were questioned by Rahul Gandhi, who continues to influence decisions in the party, that means in the Congress party, though he resigned as president last year. Right now he's not the president, still he has the influence, he has the clout. While former Prime Minister Manmohan Singh showed up support for Mr. Gandhi and Sonia Gandhi, showed up to show to make something strong by giving the support, shore up support, to make something very strong by giving the support to someone or something. Shore up or showed up support for Mr. Gandhi and Sonia Gandhi, who holds charge as interim president of the party. Another senior leader, 𝐒𝐿 Anthony, termed the letter cruel. So, what was the response from the CWC members? The editorial talks about one Mr. Manmohan Singh, the other Mr. 𝐒𝐿 Anthony. While former Prime Minister Manmohan Singh showed up support for Mr. Gandhi and Sonia Gandhi, who holds charge as interim president of the party, another senior leader, 𝐒𝐿 Anthony, termed the letter cruel. Swinging between the senile and the juvenile, arguments at the CWC appear to be an attempt to gloss over the substance of the letter, the entire text of which incidentally is not public yet, and vilify its signatories. In one sentence, you have about 5 important words to learn. Let us start with the first one, senile. Senile means what? Related to old age, old people. The second word, juvenile, related to young people. It is about the old party leaders and the young party leaders, or old people and the young people in the party. Gloss over. Why is it in orange color? Already have got this phrasal verb. Gloss over means what? To ignore. Ignore the substance of the letter. What is important in the letter, that has been ignored. Then there is the word vilify. Vilify means to say or write against someone, or to say or write unpleasant things about someone. Either to say or to write unpleasant things about someone. Vilify its signatories means those who signed an agreement, but in this context it is those who signed the letter against, or the letter related to the leadership. Swinging between the senile and the juvenile, arguments at the CWC appear to be an attempt to gloss over, ignore the substance of the letter, the entire text of which incidentally is not public yet, and vilify its signatories, criticize its signatories. In seeking to deflect the issue, deviate from the issue, by questioning the character and loyalty of those who raised it, the Congress did exactly what it often accuses its principal opponent, the BJP, of doing. So again, in this context, the Congress has criticized or accused its principal opponent, antithesis, the BJP party. In seeking to deflect the issue by questioning the character and loyalty of those who raised it, the Congress did exactly what it often accuses its principal opponent, the BJP, of doing. The signatories to the letter might include opportunists too, but many of them, such as Kapil Sibal, Manish Tiwari, and Shashi Tharoor, have been staunch defenders of the party. There's one word here. Staunch defenders means what? Staunch means very strong. Staunch defender, staunch supporter. So it talks about, though it criticizes the Congress party, criticizes the BJP party, the editorial says, no doubt, there are some people who look for an opportunity, but at the same time, the letter has the signatures of those who are really staunch supporters of the Congress party. And who are those people? People like Kapil Sibal, Manish Tiwari, and Shashi Tharoor. These are all senior leaders and they are staunch supporters of the Congress party. There was no reason to hastily conclude, as many at the CWC did, that the letter was leaked to the media by its senders and not its recipients. There is an important expression here. There was no reason to hastily conclude. Hastily conclude. Hasty. Already I have given one expression. Haste makes waste. Means what? To do things in a hurry. To do things in a hurry. Hasty. There was no reason to hastily conclude, as many at the CWC did, that the letter was leaked to the media by its senders and not its recipients. The degenerative, affliction, crippling. See, there are 3 important words here. The degenerative, something that is going down, degrading, going down by standards, degenerate, to lose its shine or to become, to reduce, to come down in standards. Affliction, being in a state of pain. Cripple, crippling, means what? Not functional physically or mentally. In this context, crippling party means what? Not a very strong party, not functioning properly. The degenerative affliction crippling the Congress party is a concern not only for its members but for all who are invested in India's democracy. The Gandhi family that commands the loyalty of the entire party has a special duty to ensure that this cry for reform within the party is not reduced to a question about itself. So it is worth considering this concern, that's what the editorial says, because Congress party, it has history and definitely it has been playing a vital role and it is part of India's democracy. We can't afford to lose a party like the Congress party, and definitely the concerns have to be considered very seriously, and there is a genuine reason the situation demands reforms within the party. The Gandhis have expressed their desire to remain active without leading the party. This is again a bit strange. What is it? The Gandhis. There's one important expression. I have been reading the editorial, the Gandhis. Some of you may wonder, Gandhis, proper noun, how come the definite article the? When we talk about the members of a family, Mr. and Mrs., a particular surname, it could be Smiths, it could be Gandhis, it could be a particular family, the surname. Then we talk about the members of the family, we use the expression the Gandhis, the Smiths, the Roberts, the Peters. So the definite article the is used. The Gandhis have expressed their desire to remain active without leading the party. That talks about something. What does it talk about? Such a role will be seen as disingenuous scheme. Means what? Not candid, not honest, and disingenuous scheme to exercise authority without accountability. When you want power, when you want authority, you should be accountable. But this situation is exercise authority without accountability, something that Mr. Gandhi claims to deeply detest. Actually, he does the same thing, according to the editorial, but he claims to deeply detest. He doesn't have any post, but he has the influence on the party. He tries to meddle with the party affairs. Such a role will be seen as a disingenuous scheme to exercise authority without accountability, something that Mr. Gandhi claims to deeply detest. There's one important word, detest. What does it mean? Detest means to hate someone or something a lot, intensely. Then we use the word detest. He is fortunate and must be thankful that the Congress party in its entirety still supports him, and even the reformists, mislabeled rebels by his self-styled loyalists, are not questioning his authority. Though he doesn't want to have the leadership, he wants to control the party. And he is fortunate in a way, being in that situation. What is the reason? Everyone supports him. A lot of people, those who talk about the reforms also, support his leadership. But unfortunately, he doesn't want to take up that one. They have only expressed frustration over his selective interest. There's one important expression here, selective interest. You are interested in something, but not in the real sense. You touch certain areas and you don't focus, you don't take a holistic approach. Then we say selective interest, selective memory, selective amnesia. These are the typical expressions you have to think of. They have only expressed frustration over his selective interest. It was Mrs. Gandhi's remarkable accommodative skills and magnanimity that paved the way for the creation of magnanimous, means what? Being generous, the United Progressive Alliance that lasted in government for 2 full terms between 2004 and 2014. Mrs. Gandhi's legacy faces a serious threat. Something faces a serious threat. What faces a serious threat? Mrs. Gandhi's legacy. Not only from her political opponents, but also from within the household. Means what? Not only from the political opponents, but also from within the party. If Mr. Gandhi is unwilling to give up his obduracy, there is one important word. Means what? Stubbornness. Being adamant, being stubborn. If Mr. Gandhi is unwilling to give up his obduracy and overcome his bitterness towards colleagues, the responsibility falls on Mrs. Gandhi to ensure a transparent election to find a successor, along with a new CWC and a parliamentary board. So it talks about the change. And if Mr. Gandhi is unwilling to give up means what? you try for something and at some point you find it difficult and you drop the idea of trying for that. Then we use the phrasal verb give up. If he is unwilling to give up his obduracy, means what? Stubbornness or adamant nature, and overcome his bitterness towards colleagues, then Mrs. Gandhi has to do something. The responsibility falls on Mrs. Gandhi to ensure a transparent election to find a successor, along with a new CWC and a parliamentary board. That is the best thing to be done. That's all about the editorial. We started on a wrong footing with buffering, but glad now things are perfect. Let us go to enrichment part. What are the words you can learn from this editorial? Introspection. An important word. Sometimes you have to introspect. When you are not quite sure in which direction you are going, when your future is at crossroads, you should go for self-introspection. Introspection, noun form, self-observation, self-questioning is a better expression. Tirade, a long angry speech against someone or something. Senile, characteristic of old age, related to old age. Juvenile, relating to young people. And remember, juvenile delinquency, sometimes you may get as a passage. Vilify, to say or write unpleasant things about someone or something. Either to say or to write unpleasant things about someone or something. Signatories, person signed an agreement or a letter. In this context, a letter. Affliction, state of being in pain. And usually there is one expression, afflict pain, cause pain. Affliction, state of being in pain. It goes with pain. Disingenuous means what? Not candid. Candid means what? Frank. Not candid, not honest. Detest, dislike intensely. You dislike something or someone intensely, then you have to use the word detest. Magnanimity, an important word. Magnanimous means what? Being generous. And the last one, obduracy, stubbornness or adamant nature. Now let us go to the phrases and whatever goes with effective English. Unwilling to engage. Here engage means what? Involved in honest introspection. Willing to engage, unwilling to engage. Two expressions. In what? Honest, not honest. H is silent. The letter H is mute. Honest introspection. Important expressions. Lent credence to. Another important expression. Lend, you know the word lend, to give. And what is opposite? Borrow. Lend, borrow. Lend what? Here it is in the past. Lent credence means belief to something. Belief in something. Lent credence to a charge the Congress often faces. What is a charge? The party is for the Gandhis. Former Prime Minister Manmohan Singh showed up support for. Shore up means strengthen something. Shore up, showed up, past, support for the Gandhis. An attempt to gloss over. You have got this expression already, an important one. It is a phrasal verb. What does it mean? Gloss over means to ignore something important. In this context, ignore what? The substance of the letter means what? What is important in the letter? Instead of focusing on that, they went on criticizing those who have written the letter. That is very unfortunate. They ignored the substance of the letter. They glossed over the substance of the letter. Important expression. There was no reason to hastily conclude. There was no reason to conclude. That is one expression. There was no reason to hastily conclude. Hastily means what? To do things in a hurry. And there is one important expression. Haste makes waste. Never try to do things in a haste. The degenerative, affliction, crippling. All the three words are very important. Degenerating, going down standards-wise or effectiveness-wise. Affliction, being in a state of pain. Cripple, mental cripple or physical cripple. Cripple means what? Not able to function properly. Not able to function normally. Not able to function efficiently. Cripple. He has become a cripple after the accident. Some people, imagine someone met with an accident and after that he is not in a position to move his legs, or his legs got amputated or his arms got amputated. Means what? Cut off. Then we say he has become a cripple after the accident. Mr. Gandhi's legacy faces a serious threat. Legacy, an important word, faces a serious threat, an important expression. Now let us go to the questions. What is this editorial about? It's all about leadership crisis in the Congress party. And one more thing I would like to tell, do remember, before parties, we have to use the definite article the. The Congress party, the BJP, the whatever the party, do remember, we have to use the definite article the. What had a letter signed by several senior leaders demanded? The letter had demanded certain things. So what had a letter signed by several senior leaders demanded? Based on these keywords, easy to answer. What appeared to be an attempt to gloss over the substance of the letter? Again, keywords, what appeared to be an attempt to gloss over the substance of the letter? What will be seen as a disingenuous scheme to exercise authority without accountability? Disingenuous means what? Not honest, not candid. What will be seen as a ingenuous scheme to exercise authority without accountability? Again, easy to answer based on the keywords. Whose legacy faces a serious threat? What are the keywords? Legacy, faces, and the phrase a serious threat. Now let us go to the grammar rule. She makes the breakfast once in a blue moon. It's only an example. I wanted you guys to learn the idiomatic expression. What does it mean? Rarely. Once in a blue moon means what? Very rarely. And someone makes the breakfast. This is not correct. We should say she makes breakfast. We should not use the definite article the. When it comes to breakfast, lunch, dinner, tea, coffee, we should not use any article. And generally speaking, if you are speaking generally, but specific, you can use. I enjoyed the breakfast I had yesterday. I enjoyed the breakfast I had yesterday. Here I am talking about specific breakfast, then I can say the breakfast. But generally speaking, no article before breakfast, lunch, dinner, tea, coffee, all these things. Now let us go to the exercise, test your English. Let us start with the first word, introspection, an important one. Write the part of speech, write the meaning. Now one student says buffering I don't consider. I don't think there is any buffering. Perhaps delay. I have changed the slide, but I don't see the slide. But a lot of students have started answering. So what is the first one here? Introspection, part of speech, noun. What is the meaning of that? Self-questioning or self-observation. Tirade. Tirade also a noun. What is the meaning of that? A long, angry speech against someone or something. Answer is H. Senile. Senile. Senility is a noun form. Senile is adjective. Please remember, senile is not the noun form. Senility is a noun form. Senile is adjective. What does it mean? Related to or characteristic of old age. Juvenile. Juvenile also adjective. Juvenile delinquency. Delinquency is a noun. Juvenile adjective. The same way senile adjective, not noun. Do remember, what does it mean? Relating to young people, adolescent people, young people, teenagers. Exactly. Old, related to old people, old. Go to the fifth one, signatories. Signatories singular, signatories plural. Obviously it has to be a noun. So what is the meaning? of that. Person signed an agreement, a person signed a letter, a person signed a document or a declaration. Any of these could be used. Person signed an agreement, a document, a declaration. In this context, a letter. Affliction, part of speech, noun, obviously. Afflict is a verb form. Affliction means what? State of being in pain. Answer is I. Yes. You guys are responding well. On the track, disingenuous. Disingenuous, part of speech, adjective. What does it mean? Not candid. Candid means what? Frank. Candid photography means what? You don't pose as you are shot. Then it is called candid photography. Now again, okay, only for a second. What is the next one? Detest. Detest, part of speech, verb. What does it mean? Dislike someone or something intensely. B is the answer. And this is, where is it? Not candid, I have done it. Magnanimity, an important word, part of speech, noun. Being generous. What is the last word? Obduracy, again part of speech, noun. And what does it mean? What you are left with what? Stubbornness. Being adamant or being stubborn. Many of these words are really useful. I don't know how many of you have got all the 10 correct. Loath, that is also a very good word. Loath also you could think of. Now let us go to this. I don't know. Magnanimity, an important word. Being generous, easy to remember. Beneficence, easy. Philanthropy, an important word. Clemency, an important word. Altruism, an important word. And largesse, an important word. You should remember these 4 words. They are really important. They go with effective English. A lot of students have got, more than 10 students have got all the 10 correct. That is really highly appreciable. Wonderful. Getting parts of speech as well as meanings, all the 10 correct. That is outstanding. You're on the track. Well done. Very good. Now, for the first time, I have brought sentences from The Economist magazine. Let us check to what extent they are easy and to what extent they are difficult. The context is definitely, it won't be familiar. And so someone has, Pooja Singh says, 10, 10, 10, 10, so many times, 10 times, so that the master can see that message. Very good. I appreciate that. I guess that is the 6th class boy, if I'm not wrong, the kid. Please go to Spot the Errors, the first 5 sentences from The Economist magazine. What is the meaning of, where is the error? Sentence number 1. Has never. Very good. Here there is one word, unlike. That is a clue for you. When we use words like, unlike, along with, as well as, and not, with, together with, rather than, no less than, all these, besides, there are 2 subjects. We should consider the first subject. The verb agrees with the first subject. What are the 2 subjects? Mr. D. Joy and predecessors, those who worked before him. But the verb should agree with the first subject, which is 3rd person singular. Then we cannot say have. It should be has. That's very good. Go to sentence number 2. Mr. Thompson had to shoot 2 polar bears that chased him to his front door. This is not an easy one. Sentence number 2 is not easy. If you get it right, I'll be surprised. No one has got it right so far. That's why I have said, if you get it right, I will be surprised. No. No one has got it right so far. About 300 students, 295 to be specific. No. Fine. I'll give the answer. Here the sentence, Mr. Thompson has, one word is missing. Has had to shoot. Has had to shoot. This is a sentence pattern. You don't come across this usually. This is from the Economist magazine. And that is the reason why you could not guess. Mr. Thompson has had to. This is in which tense if you ask? It is in present perfect tense. Has had, present perfect. Mr. Thompson has had to shoot. I had to go, that is past. I have had to go, that is present perfect. Same pattern. Mr. Thompson has had to shoot. No one has got it right. Nothing to worry. Let us go to the next one. Sentence number. Not easy to answer, beyond any doubt. Yes, Pradeep Kumar, that's right. Nothing to worry, you can improve. It takes some time. To be able to get all the 5 correct when it comes to spot the errors, you should be very good at English grammar, one thing. You should know all the grammar rules, about 300 of them. Besides that, you should have contextual awareness. Contextual awareness also matters a lot. No, it does not talk about. See, this sentence, it is an important sentence. That, it does not talk about the action. It talks about bears. This clause, 2 polar bears, this clause has nothing to do with this one. Because of the word that. This clause describes bears. That has nothing to do with the first clause. Mr. Thompson has had to shoot 2 polar bears. It ends there. The idea ends over there. But more information related to bears. Which bears are we talking about? That chased him to his front door. That has nothing to do with the first clause. That is an expression, a different expression altogether. Now let us go to sentence number 3. Where is the error? Because it is in present perfect, there is no time. I think you guys are still with the second sentence. You may ask, sir, why present perfect? The reason being, here, there is only one idea related to the action. And this idea does not have the time phrase. A past action, no time phrase. Which tense are we supposed to use? Obviously, present perfect tense. And that's why I said this has nothing to do with this one. Because of that, this clause is about bears. I think sentence number 3 also, no one has got it right. That is a bit surprising. That is not expected. Here, his condition is worse than it was last year. Worse than it was last year. When he appeared to have poisoned while in custody. The second clause should be in passive voice. And here it is in active voice. One word is missing. Which word is that? To have been poisoned. When he appeared to have been poisoned. To have been poisoned. As such, to have poisoned is not easy to make out. Again, in passive voice, not easy to make out. So what is missing here? The word been is missing. His condition is worse than it was last year, when he appeared to have been poisoned while in custody. Someone poisoned him. So passive voice, he appeared to have been poisoned. This is an important expression. What is this expression? Perfect infinitive. And it is a non-finite verb. Non-finite verb, one of the types of infinitives. Which one is that? Perfect infinitive. What is perfect infinitive? We use to have plus the verb past participle form. But here it is in passive voice, so we should use the word been. To have poisoned, to have been poisoned. Not easy. These are all higher level. And now on you will see, I'm going to get sentences from international magazines. You get exposed to different sentence patterns. Not easy to make out. Let us go to sentence number 4. Across the Balkans, important, the Balkans, countries which belong to Southeast European region. Together we use the word the Balkans. Southeast European region, countries which belong to Southeast European region. So what is not correct here? Nothing wrong with population. I think Lakshmi has got it right. After that, Sunanda also, Deepika. What is the reason? Unless, all these students are right. Unless is a negative word. In a particular clause, when we use one negative word, in the same clause we should not use another negative expression. What is the second negative expression here? Does not. So it is not correct. Based on that, unless that changes, does not change is not correct. Unless that changes, even more will leave. Unless that does not change, wrong. Unless that changes. Do remember it's an important rule. Go to sentence number 5. Sentence number 5, in my opinion, an important question. Not because I have brought it. Yes, we don't use double negative in a sentence. That's right, Rajshekhar. Please go to sentence number 5. An important question. Is worse than last year. Nothing wrong with that. Worse than. Bad, worse, worst. So it is comparative form. The word than also gives the clue. Worse than. Nothing wrong with that expression. Yes, a few students have got it right. I appreciate all those students. Netherlands. It takes a definite article the. What is missing here? The Netherlands, the US, the UK, the Netherlands, the UAE, the Ukraine, the Irish Republic. All these you have to recollect. Has anyone got all the 5 correct from international magazines? Bad, worse, worst. Obviously, Yaqub, that's right. So worse than, comparative form, nothing wrong with that expression. Now let us go to questions from different competitive exams, actual questions. Try to spot the error. Sentence number 1. Nagamani, I too have the same doubt. I hope your doubt has been cleared, or you got it cleared. No problem. Nothing to worry. Please go to actual questions. Absolutely no problem. Slowly your standards are being raised. Their standards are being raised. So initially you may find difficult. After some time you will get used to the patterns used in international magazines, and more or less the same patterns you come across in the exam. The Netherlands. Sometimes it happens. That is the reason why there is a saying in English. What is it? Too good is too bad. Perfectionism is like paralysis. And too much of thinking also, sometimes you miss the actual point. Here, the market continues to be positive. And in the next quarter, we expected the trend, or we expect The market continues to be positive, and in the next quarter, we expect the trend to continue with the onset of the festive season. An easy one. No need of we are expecting. We expect. In the next quarter also, we expect the trend to continue. Expected is not correct. It should be expect. Go to sentence number 2. With this initiative, the corporation hopes to assure the public that it is confident of providing good service and renewing their faith with the public transport system. Again, buffering. Only a few seconds. Faith in, that's right. Here, the word faith does not take the preposition with. Their faith in something. Their faith in what? In the public transport system. Faith in. Sentence number 3. All these are easy questions. You should get all the 5 correct. Faith in something. Go to sentence number 3. Where is the error? The next sentence number 3. Easy one. All citizen. No way. It should be all citizens. All citizens of India. Go to the next one, sentence number 4. A sharp fall in international prices of tea have led tea plantation workers in Kerala to face starvation. Sentence number 4, an easy one. Yes, Malayadri has got it right. Confident of is also correct. Confident of, nothing wrong here. Confident of something. Confident of providing. Nothing wrong with that expression. Here, what is your doubt, Manasa? Sir, could you please clear my doubt? Please tell me what is your doubt. A sharp fall, that is a key word, in international prices of tea. That is a phrase, don't consider. Fall, we don't say have. Has led, a sharp fall, has led. It is related to subject-verb agreement. Now let us go to sentence number 5. Where is the error? In the flying game, there is a host of new low-cost airlines that dare to roar, providing a glimmer of hope of more cheaper air transport to millions. Of course, Manasa, English language is the richest language, and you cannot restrict yourself to a few expressions, to a few meanings. On an average, every word has 4 or 5 meanings. The same way, some verbs, some words, they take different prepositions. Confident of, confidence in, or everything is possible. Based on the context, you have to use either confidence in or confident of. It depends on the pattern. It depends on the context. I hope it's clear. That is the reason why I tell students never have fixed ideas when it comes to English. Read a lot, expose yourself to the language, then you understand all these subtle differences. Here, cheap, cheaper, cheapest. One comparative form, then you cannot use one more word. So, what is wrong with this? The word more should not be there. Has anyone got all the 5 correct? Actual questions. Now, let us go to. This has been brought from, I have taken from the New York Times. The New York Times. Read, it's all about fires in California state. About 12,000 fires are destroying a lot of plants and animals in the state of California. California is one of the 50 states. The US made of 50 states, and California state on the southwest coast is one of the 50 states. And the Californians are known to be very stylish, and whatever happens in the state, in the California state, sooner or later happens in the rest of the US. They are known as the torchbearers of American culture, American civilization. Californians are known as the torchbearers of American culture, American civilization. Torchbearers. So, what is the first one here? Strained by hundreds of fires that have burned through more than 1.5 million acres, California fire officials are warning that the state is now living through a mega fire what? Third one, era, period, in which burned for weeks across vast blazes, that's right. Fourth one, blazes burned for weeks across vast, what is the third one? Expanses. Expanse means what? Large area of land. Expanses, plural form. First one is era, second one is blazes, third one is expanses of land. There are currently 625 blazes burning across the state, and they have an area larger than the state of Delaware. They have done what? You need a verb in past participle form. Here you have flames, which is a noun, and scorched. Based on that, you can easily make out the answer is scorch. Scorch means burn. What is the meaning of the word scorch, burn? Peak summer, we say scorching heat. Peak winter, we say biting cold. Remember 2 expressions, scorching heat, biting cold. Scorch means to burn. And what are you left with? Have gone up. Here you cannot use the word blazes, have gone up in flames. It's a standard expression, standard phrase. Go up in flames. Sir, I'm a beginner. Can you suggest me how to improve my English? Which English are you talking about? Are you talking about conversational English, or are you talking about English for competitive exams? Based on that, I can give the suggestion. Now, this is not easy. I hope you can make out the font size reduced to some extent. I hope you can make out. There are 7 parts. I will give you 2 minutes, not easy. You don't try to do in a hasty. Take 2 minutes time. I will wait and try to get the correct order. If you get the correct order, you should be extremely happy. That will be highly appreciated. I hope you can make out. When you come across a parajumble like this, first you take the elimination approach, then try to get the first sentence. Try to get the first sentence, then it becomes easy for you. No, I don't use any language other than English. Who is this Ajay? No, this platform is only English to English, not bilingual, not English Hindi, not English Telugu, not English Tamil, purely English to English. The idea behind, if you listen to someone who uses English all the time, you will improve your language proficiency in the real sense. You will understand how the words are used, how the sentences are formed, and so many words they get repeated and they all get registered at the subconscious level, and that will help you in the long run. Initially, you may find it difficult. I understand, Ajay. Initially, you will definitely find it difficult to understand, but keep listening every day, 1 month, 2 months. After some time, you will be able to understand. Nothing to worry. Initially, not easy, but after some time, you will be able to. You should have that patience, and you should do the same thing. Watch, listen every day in and day out. Then it is not a big deal. English is an easy language. You will be able to understand. I'm sure about that. Guys, have you responded? One is not A. I'm sorry. That's good. That is a spirit, Ajay. I appreciate your positive attitude. One is G. Those who have said one is G, absolutely right. I'll write here. In some parts of the world, COVID-19 is not the only plague that 2020 has brought. Here, plague means a major problem. Plague is a disease. But in this context, the word plague means the major problem, devastating problem. So, in some parts of the world, COVID-19 is not the only plague that 2020 has brought. You should think of what is the other one. It is not the only one. Then there should be something else. Based on that, what is the second one? Obviously, it should be F is the second one. In parts of Asia and East Africa, swarms of locusts have stripped fields. This is the second plague. First one is COVID-19, and you should talk about the next sentence, you talk about the second, not COVID-19, something else is there. What is that? Something else. In parts of Asia and East Africa, swarms of locusts have stripped fields. This is the second one. And you got to consider first Asia, then East Africa. Based on that order, what is the third sentence? Every sentence, you have the clues. Only thing you have to read carefully, meticulously. Third one is not B. No, not correct. I have given already the clue. Strip means to remove. Imagine a field, it has a crop. All these locusts or grasshoppers, they eat the crops. That means what? You don't see the crops. Then we use the word strip. Strip means to remove. Usually it goes with clothes. Strip the clothes means remove the clothes. And in this context, strip the fields means what? To remove all the crops. Every time you don't have to look for, not only but also not all the time. Exceptions are there. No one has got, one student, Nagamani has got the third one. After that I see Yashwant also, then Saina also, and Geeta. So many. Third one is, here I said Asia and East Africa. Based on that, the UN thinks the swarms in India and Pakistan, Asian continent, are the largest for a quarter of a century, and that the numbers in Kenya are the highest for 70 years. Again, first Asia, then East Africa. What is the fourth one? Fourth one should be easy, yes. Fourth one is one swarm. It goes with African continent, Kenya. After that, Kenya, here Kenya. One swarm in northern Kenya was estimated to be 25 miles, 40 kilometers long, and 37 miles wide. This is the fourth one. What is the fifth one? The last three sentences talk about I will do it later. What is the next one? Fourth one is C. What is the fifth one? Fifth one is B. Locusts are usually inoffensive, solitary creatures that do not stray far from the place they were born. But under the right circumstances, namely heavy rain and a subsequent boom in plant growth, they can become gregarious, an important word. Gregarious means what? Social. Here solitary, opposite social. Gregarious, an important word. And what is the last one? When that happens, when they become gregarious, the insects change color and gather in ravenous swarms which can fly more than 100 kilometers in a day. This is the last one. Now, what is the correct order? G, F, and A. After that, C. All with one idea. Then you have B, E, and D. All about locusts, one group. Let us cross-check. In some parts of the world, COVID-19 is not the only plague that 2020 has brought. There is something else. What is that? In parts of Asia and East Africa, swarms of locusts have stripped fields. Not the only one. One more. What is it? Swarms of locusts. Then it talks about Asia and Africa. Here, India and Pakistan, Kenya, again Kenya. All these go in a systematic way. All the four, one group. Then it talks about locusts. Locusts are usually inoffensive, solitary. But under right circumstances, they change and become gregarious. Solitary, opposite, gregarious. When that happens, insects change color and gather in ravenous swarms, which can fly more than 100 kilometers in a day. Has anyone got all the 7, the correct order? That will be amazing, highly appreciable. For some time you watch these editorial sessions and maintain separate notebooks for words, for grammar rules, and for editorial content. Try to write on your own, but initially focus on words, and slowly you can focus on effective English and also content. Now let us go to the headlines. Drunk college students arrested for abusing police after accident. Gregarious means social, solitary, isolated. The word solitary means isolated. Opposite, gregarious, means what? Social in nature. Please go to the headlines. Tell me what is the meaning of abusive. I've just answered Ajay. Try to maintain separate notes, one for vocabulary, one for grammar, and one for content. Content you can think later, but initially grammar rules and also vocabulary. Try to maintain and try to learn the new words. Now, abuse means what? In this context, use foul language. Abuse police, shout at someone using foul language. In this context, it is not misuse. The word abuse has got 2 different meanings. One is misuse of power. That is not the meaning in this context. Abuse, another meaning, shout at someone using foul language, and that meaning goes with this context. Shout at someone using foul language or bad words. The marginalization of justice in public discourse. What is the meaning of discourse? Discourse means what? Public discourse. Excuse me. What is the meaning of public discourse, or simply discourse? Thank you very much, Ajay. Try to enjoy the session. Every day try to enjoy, and slowly you will be part of that. You will be able to follow, and you will get enriched beyond any doubt. Thank you very much, Fanindra. Thanks for that. Here, discourse means either writing or presentation in public about something. Discourse. A typical combination, religious discourse. Today, you all must be knowing some people come on TV, they talk about religion, they talk about Ramayana, they talk about Mahabharata, and they talk something good about good from these epic stories. And those are known as religious discourses. But here, public discourse means a presentation, either in writing or in saying about a particular topic. Discourse, public presentation. CWC resolution unlikely to end Congress power tussle. What is the meaning of the word tussle? Fight, exactly. Fight, war, battle, problem, issue, any of these. NGT, National Green Tribunal, slams ministry's report on clean air program. Slam. Slam means what? Go to the fourth headline. We are running out of time. It's already 11 past 9. Slam means hit out, lash, criticize, attack. Most wanted teacher. It has a positive connotation. It has a negative connotation. Most wanted criminal. In that context, it becomes negative. Most wanted. But generally for that we say most sought after. Most wanted, most sought after. Better expression is most sought after. What is the meaning of slam? Attack, criticize severely, and unveil, an important word. Means what? Roll out, introduce, make something public. Make something public. Usually it goes with a product, a new product. They try to make it public, they display, then you can use this word. Now let us go to the next slide quickly. Eat humble pie. You have got many a time. So you should get all the 5 correct idioms. Try to answer quickly. Eat humble pie means what? Reveal, exhibit, disclose, show. Yes, perfect. All those words could be used. I'm going to close. Please, maybe 5 minutes maximum. It all depends on how fast you respond. Eat humble pie means what? 1C. Make a humble apology and accept humiliation. That's right. Apple pie order means what? Everything in place. D. Apple of discord, bone of contention, cause of dispute, and apple of one's eye, someone's favorite person. And what is the last one? Comparing apples and oranges, comparing dissimilar things. So let us go to the last slide. Someone has online classes. All the 5, you should be happy. Now, milestone, what is the meaning of, don't worry about the part of speech, write the meaning. What is it, Shivkumar? What is it, Shivkumar? Please let me know. Krishna Pilla's query, what is that? I haven't seen that message. Could you let me know what it is? Preparing for banks and how to improve my English. That's too general a question. If you're asking about that, too general and not easy to answer in one sentence, I have to spend 10 to 15 minutes. But generally, I tell students, in the meantime, others try to get the correct meaning. You should be, if you take quant, reasoning and English, for a lot of people, English is a problem. English component is a problem. And how to overcome, how to master, you have to read the Hindu paper, the editorials. You should be very good at English grammar. And you should read in and day out. You should expose yourself to the language. And when you do that, you can easily get the double digit. You can cross the single digit. It all depends on your reading habit. Read a lot and be very good at English grammar. When you read a lot, you become good at reading comprehension skill. You become good at vocabulary. So all the three in your hand, then you can do well. In a nutshell, that's what. Please carry on, no problem. Pooja Singh, carry on. Milestone means what? A significant event. Upsurge means what? Large increase. Let us hold that one. What is the answer for the second one? You guys have gone to second J. Hold that one. And fantasy, imagination, where is it? Fantasy. I is the answer. Exponentially, more and more rapidly. This is B. Propensity, natural tendency, H. And rubric, a set of instructions or rules, C. Harbor, a place to provide shelter, A. And arbiter, a person who settles a dispute, D. And vested, personal interest, vested interest. And prerequisite, you're left with what? This is over. Required as a prior condition, F. And obviously this is J. Has anyone got all correct? All the 10? That's wonderful. I have given the answers because it's already 16 past 9. And before I wind up the session, don't feel bad, don't be disappointed. There's no session tomorrow. I'll be taking on Friday. Only for this week, not regular. But next week onwards, you're going to have the sessions regularly. Information to you. What is it? Pooja Singh. Sir, can I share information with you? What is it about? All the 10 correct, that's wonderful. You should be extremely happy. You're ready for the exam. And tomorrow there's no session, again on Friday. And hope you have enjoyed the sentences from The Economist magazine and the New York Times. And day after tomorrow, I'll try to get again from international magazines. Let us see how it is going to be. Have a nice day. Thank you. Thanks for being with me. 17 past 9. I will see you on Friday with another editorial to enrich your language proficiency. He hasn't responded, Pooja Singh. So maybe next session.